Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Treasure Gear EX Deluxe Yokai Hudroid from Yokai Watch. This is a support robot used for finding treasure and yokai that can interact with both the Yokai Pod and Yokai Watch Busters 2 on the 3DS. So, let's get started. First up, let's look at the Hudroid in detail. So taking a close look at it, you can see it's a small orange and gray robot with some wheels and a little face here. Looking at the face, you can see the set of eyes here, which is a sticker. And one thing to know about the sticker is that for applying it, what you want to do is take this orange piece and remove it, which will let you cleanly apply the sticker from here to here. And also included is an alternate set of eye stickers that gives him a more happy expression if you want to use that one instead. You've got the mouth here, which can actually open up like this for when you want to use it with the Yokai Pod. And inside you can see the point where the sensors will match. Got a couple of buttons down here, an IR sensor down here for when it's interacting with the 3DS. You got a couple of wheels, one on each side. Then a third smaller wheel on the bottom. Have your power switch here, speaker here, and then the battery compartment down here. This takes 3 AAA batteries. Then back here you have some mufflers. And the chamber here, which has this Molon symbol right there. And then the Yoki symbol up top. So to get started with this, we'll power it on. Just like so. So of course you can roll this guy along, though that doesn't do anything with the electronics. So getting to the electronics, you have 2 buttons. This one which is the search button and this one which is the talk button. We'll start off with the talk button to get a few phrases out of it. Now one thing to know about this is this guy actually gives you some tips on how to use him if you can understand Japanese. For that one, he actually told you that if you press the search button a few different times, you'll charge up energy. Additionally, on occasion, by pressing the talk button, the Hudroid might happen to find a yokai that's stored on there. And when you want to check what yokai is stored on here, just press and hold the talk button. He'll also tell you your level of treasure finding, or basically how good you've gotten at it, depending on how many treasures you found within the system. So we can press this again for a few more phrases. Now one thing to note is that while the light here is red when he's talking, it'll actually start off as yellow, and as you get more and more treasure, or as you're more successful, it'll go from yellow to green to red, which is the maximum kind of level, or the highest setting for him. Then we can get to search mode by pressing the button down here. If you hear that tune, it means he's found a treasure. In that case, he found a golden chocobo, or golden chocobar. Let me try that again. And you can actually skip this little standby tune by pressing the button again. That time it found a golden medal. If you hear that tune, it means it didn't find anything. And if you hear that tune, it means that I found a Yokai. Now there are a select few Yokai on here, but there are some important ones, which are rare Yokai. And I'm actually going to bring out the instructions to show you guys. So here we have the 5 rare Yokai and which Yokai they get you. Or rather, which dungeons for which Yokai they will give you. We have the Chikara, or Power Yokai, which gets you access to Nyankishi's dungeon. The Chie, or Knowledge Yokai, which gives you access to Nyan Majo's dungeon. The Yuki, or Courage Yokai, which gives you access to Momotarnyan's dungeon. The Keana, or Blowhole Yokai, which gives you access to Koalanyan's dungeon. And the God Yokai, which gives you access to Kakusei Hinoshin's dungeon. The one thing to know about these 3 is that you can also obtain them via the in-game Gashapon, but for these 2, you can only get access to their dungeons and only potentially get these Yokai via the 2 Yokai. There are also 3 other common ones that'll just get you access to some dungeons with some rare but not particularly interesting Yokai. Now, as it told us earlier, you can actually charge up energy by pressing the search button multiple times. So we'll do just that. Now that's one of a couple of different results you can get from pressing the button repeatedly. That result being that you basically pressed it too much and he kind of went crazy. And that does slightly lower his mood a bit. And that one kind of decreases the chances of finding a rare Yokai. But let's try that again until we get the proper result from the charging up of energy. I'm actually going to turn him back on to see if that helps. Now while we didn't find anything, If he goes like that, that will be what actually increases the odds of finding a rare Yokai. And you can try to get that up to 3 times, which will greatly increase the odds. So let's see if we can go for that. It is a little tricky because you have to try to get him to skip that initial starting. But it is tricky, as it's a lot easier for him to basically just go like that and run wild. Next, we can use the Hudroid with the Yokai Pod. So, just for a quick check, you'll see that off screen I changed the Yokai in here. So, to use it, we're going to open up like this and set on the Yokai Pod, which is already on. And there's no locking mechanism, so it doesn't automatically trigger the treasure link. Instead, you have to activate it by activating the Yokai Pod itself. So, we'll start off in mix mode to get the Yokai from here to here. Now we're going to change it over to charge mode. But in this case, we're actually going to reverse the process and put the charge back onto the Hudroid. And that light will indicate that there's a Yokai on there. We also check the Yokai using the search mode. And that's basically for just if you want to hear the phrases from the Yokai Pod. Last but not least, the Yokai Hudroid can be used with Yokai Watch Busters 2 on the 3DS via IR. So, I have my Japanese new 3DS here, which I have decked out with Jibanyan cover plates. And we'll go ahead and use it. So, first thing you want to do is you want to go to this location here. And there are one of 2 different ways you can use it. The first is via the Gashapon. So, we'll select a coin. In this case we'll select this one here. Then we'll select Green Bet with Hudroid, which is down here. Set like this. And start the communication mode. I'm going to press and hold the search button. And like that, it's now sent over data that will increase the odds of getting a big win. As you can see, it added all these gold spaces. And let's see how we do. And so we got a rare treasure. Now we can actually send a new Yokai back to the Hudroid. And just like that, we now have the Aranami charge on the Hudroid. That was one of the uses. The second is at the second option, which is the tent. As you can see, the Hudroid is also in the game, and what he does is that he accompanies you in dungeons looking for rare treasures. And so we can talk to Dungeon here to help modify him. So, you can interact with him via this option here. We'll again send a signal. And this will upgrade him like so. Changing his mood and increasing his stats. One thing to know about this is that these can only be done once a day. So after that, you'll have to wait until your 3S clock is at least 3 AM before doing it again. And before ending off the review, I just want to make note of a couple more features. The first one is that if you don't want to have any Yokai on here, what you can do is first rapidly press the talk button 10 times. So 1, 2, then press it again 5 times. Then press and hold both buttons. That will delete the charge. Second, if you want to reset the data back to the beginning, press and hold these 2 buttons here, then turn it on. Then you'll press the talk button 5 times in a row. But you have to do it soon after doing that, or else it'll just go back to normal. And there we go. Now, this is an item that, similarly to the Fudo Raimeiken, I initially skipped out on, but I decided to pick it up for similar reasons, and that's because of the Yokai it provides, and what it can do with Yokai Watch Busters 2. Since it's very nice to be able to have those 5 rare Yokai and be able to get easy access to them. Since for 2 of them, they are the only way to get those Yokai in the game, and for the other 3, it's easier to do that and go through the dungeons than to try to get them via the Gashapon. And, well, I didn't show it off. Another option you can do is to talk to this guy here, and they'll give you the option of receiving Yokai from the Deluxe Yokai Hudroid. And a neat little trick you can do is that if you want to basically try using it indefinitely, since basically when you want to actually go one of these dungeons, basically you have to beat it and then hope by chance to get the treasure you want. What you can do to keep reusing that charge is to send via IR, then turn off the Hudroid and back on, and keep doing it to basically be able to use it indefinitely. As if you send the Yokai to a medal and then use it with the game, that's the Yokai gun, and if you leave it on and use that Yokai by sending it via IR a couple of times, it will get deleted. But via that little trick, you can kind of indefinitely do it, which is very useful. With that being said, this is definitely a toy I would only recommend to people who have the methods of using, or rather method of playing, the Yokai Watch Busters 2 games, as on its own it really doesn't do all too much, as it just talks, finds little treasures here and there, and Yokai, which you can potentially use with the Yokai Pod, but they are much more useful when used with the Yokai Watch Busters 2 games. So that's just something to make note of, and unfortunately that does mean that probably a lot of you guys are not going to be able to make full use of this, but if there's someone out there watching this who does have the means of playing the Japanese Yokai Watch Busters 2 games, this is certainly a recommendable item for picking up. Next time I'll be reviewing the BCR Kamen Rider Cross Charge, Tuesday at 6 PM PST. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.